Folks, today I want to talk to you the fact that Hindus, like other religions also, in fact, Hindus are living more, in fact, lot of symbols. They worship the symbols, idols, and they really don't know what is behind it. What is really the energy form behind it in the world of divine, in the divinity world, for the simple reason that nobody, at least at this time, is living who has gone beyond the human mind. Every religion says that God, the so-called their God, is beyond the human mind. But there is absolutely nobody who has gone beyond the human mind. Every religious person who has invented that religion was within the human mind. And within that human mind, they saw a lot of symbols, including Muslim religion, Jewish religion, Christian religion, Hindu religion, Buddhistic religion, every religion. They found a lot of symbols and they worshipped the symbols. And years and years passed by and they forgot what those original symbols mean. For example, take Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma. You know the figures of Vishnu, you know the figures of Shiva and Brahma. Brahma probably nobody knows because they don't. There is some mythological story that Shiva didn't like Brahma, and because of that, everybody disliked Brahma. Also, for the reason that they thought in their regular symbolic tradition, Brahma married his own daughters, Saraswati or Vak, both are same. And there's also relationship between all these gods. In Madurai, very close by I was born, they celebrate every year the marriage between Shiva and Meenakshi, which is Shakti. And that just before the marriage, Meenakshi, the Shakti, came to know, according to their story, that Shiva had a, what do you call that in English? Girlfriend, no, much more than that. I forgot that name, the English name for that. And immediately Meenakshi left, decided, I'm not going to marry you. And she went away. Every year they celebrate this. And huge amount of people assemble in Madurai to celebrate this. What a story. So do you think really that gods also had mistresses? Yeah, mistress. That's the English word that was missing. So Shiva had a mistress, and they want to get married, just like human beings. And Shakti Meenakshi left the marriage knowing that Shiva had a mistress. These are all stories. All these stories are created by human beings out of ignorance. They created God in their own image, in the human image, and they somehow managed to force well into the psychic of Hindus to worship them the same way every year. How much money people send in spending Vinayaka Chaturthi in the North India? And Muruga in South India, in Tamil Nadu, not South India, Tamil Nadu. So much money. They always find an occasion to celebrate that. They pour so much money, even the poor people pour so much money. They think that cow is a divine cow, auspicious cow. And that's the reason why Brahmins say they will not eat cow meat. Cow is a symbol of white light for all the thing that they hate Brahma. But white light is the symbol of Brahma. And white light is from where? But the symbol of white light, as I saw in one of my spiritual experiences, is the cow. From the cow, white rays come and it falls on every child when the child is born. That's how they get the consciousness, the divine consciousness, which later becomes their consciousness rooted in mind. I already talked about that. I don't have to repeat this. Now, again, there is a famous temple in Kerala. A lot of people from Tamil Nadu started going there, Ayyappa. I think they say that he was born to Shiva and Vishnu. I may be wrong about Shiva, but definitely Vishnu. Two men got together, and to them they were born. The Ayyappa was born. So many people spend their money to go to Kerala to celebrate this. These are all ignorance. All these people, priests and others, Hindu priests and others, they created this, imposed on the psychic of the Hindus, and they make their lives. They keep saying Om, Om, Om without know what is Om. In the midst of all these people, I was born, and I was a scientist, computer science professor at IIT Bombay, assistant professor, newly married. I rejected all these things. One of the Swamijis from nearby Chinmayananda Ashramam came to teach, I think Bhagavad Gita or something. Yes, Bhagavad Gita. To people in IIT. Of course, on the off time. And I went there. I asked one question. Sir, have you realized Krishna? Do you know what is Krishna? Do you have realized God? He said, he quoted so many other stanzas, other lines from Bhagavad Gita. And I asked him, please give me the straight answer, sir. What is the answer to my question? Immediately, all the bhaktas everybody else said, you should go and study Bhagavad Gita before asking Swamiji this question. I hated this. When I did my PhD, I was about to be, my thesis advisor supposed to be a famous professor at TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. One of his students came and gave his final PhD thesis at IIT Bombay. He was giving the lecture, and I asked him one question. Went and round, and he didn't answer. So at the end of his roundabouts, I asked, so what is the answer to my question? Everybody was shocked. Can a student, an MTech student, ask a PhD student who is going to finish his thesis with a famous professor, can an MTech student who has no standing ask this question? And I did. I asked the same way when I did my PhD with the same professor later. I asked him all the questions. I'm never afraid of asking any questions. And one day when I asked the question, I'm fed up with all these roundabout answers. I want a clear-cut answer. If there is a divine, that divinity should come and teach me everything about the divinity. And because of that, everything came one after another. That's how, without reading any of the scriptures, without being associated with any of Swamijis with the toddies, with the beards, I learned everything. And I didn't throw away my family. I lived with my family. And whatever I learned in my family, living in the family about unconditional love, in my job, etc., all the pains that I went through, I taught people. In many of my videos, one of the contributions of my videos is I replaced all these human Hindu symbols, not only Hindu symbols, but also Christian symbols, sometimes Jewish symbols also, with a real energy beyond human mind. That's one of my contributions. I won't say contributions. That's the truth that I was communicating to you. There is one gentleman. He's a nice person, looks like. In one of his comments to one of the recent videos, he said, Satyameva Jayata, Jayadev. By the way, I never read Sanskrit. I never learned Sanskrit from anybody. I learned a few words here and there, that's all. Satyam. What is Satyam? Truth. What is truth? Can anybody know the real truth in the divine world without getting into the divine world? No way. You can have symbols of the truth, just like you all have. About Sivalingam I was talking about in the previous video. But if you want to really experience the divine truth, you have to enter into the divine world, and it is not easy. Because there are so many symbols in your mind. So much you depend on those symbols. Out of what? Out of the fear you have. You are afraid of the life, what is going to come the next. I was not afraid. I was not afraid to ask a question about the divine. So many of you will be scared to ask any question to divine. I asked. That's how I got all the answers to my questions. Even now, where did I get the notion of this consciousness that is rooted in the energy behind, energy underneath, through one of my spiritual experiences? I talked about that in the previous video. And I also said that I shouldn't say I am, because in the divine word there is no I am. There is, because there is no language, English language or any other language, or even Sanskrit language is not there. People say that Sanskrit language is a divine language. There is no such thing. Every language is come out from sound, which is vak. Depending upon their culture, they've created, everybody has created, every culture has created their own language. That's all. No language is greater than the other. No human being is greater than the other human being. Everybody is equal. Every language is equal. Every language has come from the sound. Whether it is Chinese, Jewish, Hindu, Tamil, Hindi, Sanskrit, whatever it is. It has come from sound. Without sound, you try to create a language. No, you cannot. You cannot communicate that to other person. Of course, you can now, after finding out the symbol, you can communicate through letters. But the letters represent the sound form. But you have to stop worshipping the symbols. What are you afraid of, by the way? You are afraid of death. You are afraid you will be leaving. You have to leave all your money and fame and your relatives and so on, so on. Your position as a president, they are fickle. They all vanish in the long time, in the times to come. I've seen many temples in the south totally destroyed because of the fact that nobody was ready to take care of them. Same way, all of you, all your fame, all your money, all your forms will also be destroyed. This form, do you think this will withstand? No. One day this form will be destroyed too. I never said that I'm your guru. I'm your master. That gentleman who said Satyameva Jayato or whatever also said, looks like he was saying something Bhajagovindam or something. He's fond of Krishna and Vishnu. Krishna, Rama, in the north if you go, lot of people, Ram, 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 Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. What did they learn out of saying such things? Nothing. They can never go beyond all those artificial symbols. In order to go beyond artificial symbols, you have to reject them. You have to get out of the fear of not worshipping the symbols. Once I said, go to what is the symbol in Tirupati Venkadachalamati. I said once, let a scientist go there and ask all the desire, all the devotees, what is it that you want to achieve? Why are you coming here? Can you tell me? Okay, take down those notes. After 5 or 6 years or so, go and check with them whether they all of them, how many of them have been given those boons. Not much. Maybe some people out of fluke. Not many people. Still, people believe such things. And Hindus have a very fantastic explanation for that. It's all your karma. As if they know what is the karma in the previous birth. Nobody knows. Nobody has died and said and come back to know everybody's karma. You may say, oh, Satya Sai Baba has come back. He is the reincarnation of Shirdi Sai Baba. Does Shirdi Baba devotees accept Satya Sai Baba? And Satya Sai Baba said that I will be born as a Prema Sai and teach unconditional love. Premam. In fact, before he died, he said, within about few years, and he lived those few years, the whole world will accept Sanatana Dharma, the Hindu religion. Everybody will worship Hindu gods. That's what he said. Those years came, nothing happened. Still, people are divided. Christians are Christians, Jews are Jews, Buddhists are Buddhists, and so on and so. The reason is that he didn't teach. Probably he didn't know. They really didn't teach the real energy form beyond human mind. He was teaching all Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, bhajans. He was creating deepams, the vomams, the fire wood, and people created the fire, and then they did all these aratis and so on. The fire means what? They told you fire means Shiva, the fire for color. There is no fire as God because he's a red color, red Jyoti. My grandfather used to worship Surya Namaskaram, to worship Surya every morning. I asked him why. He didn't know why. He said he will give me a lot of blessings. But what is that Suryan, that sun? In Tamil it's called Suryan. What is that? What does that represent? It represents, it's a golden color, it's Vishnu. Same way the white color is Brahma, the moon is Brahma. That's why in the time of all the eclipses, they all said, no, be careful, it's a very bad time. Don't go out. All these pregnant people, you don't go out at this time. These are all ignorances. They conduct marriages. They conduct to not celebrations. They conduct events when somebody died, and they take something and mix the ashes in the lake or in the river. They think that will take them to heaven. I think that's the meaning. That's why they do. What is the reason? Anybody has found the reason? Just they do it because the priest said that. This is how you have been living. You have to get out of that. Unless you get out of this and learn the real meaning of all the Hindu symbols, all the Hindu gods, your Sanatana Dharma, Hindu religion will never be, will spread throughout the world. You are waiting for Mr. Kalki Avatar to come and spread the Sanatana Dharma to everybody, to everywhere. How can you do that when you are stuck with this? If somebody comes and tells you the real meaning of this and say, get out of these symbols, and then that's a way to spread your Hindu religion to everywhere. Tell people that lingam means consciousness. People will understand. You are afraid, then you are not saying something unique to your religion. You want to say something unique and you claim that that is Hindu religion. You don't want to be, you don't want to be, you don't want your religion to vanish by all these real symbols, by all the real meanings of those symbols. Then you have no Hindu religion. Lingam will not be there after 100 years if everybody says it's a consciousness, and underneath is Shakti, is energy. Even scientists will understand that. They have a hard time understanding what is consciousness. Scientists, they will never be able to understand that. I think I said that. There are the three divine jyotis which appear as golden light, red light, and white light. Not the three color lights in what you see in this world. I saw I created those symbols. Yes, I did. With the consciousness and by the who created those images, but from one who came out of my my energy, which called as me as my father, as her father, and her name was Bach. I never know what Bach was for quite some time. I did a lot of research and found out it is mentioned in one of the Vedic texts or something like that. One day, this will happen. Until that happened, the war like Iran war, Ukraine war, all this war will happen. Now you are just running out of oil. The essential product for all your food, your fertilizer, and for everything. All your chemical products under siege now in the Iran war. Just to satisfy the Jewish, Netanyahu, the Jewish prime minister or whatever, to satisfy him, to satisfy his thirst for a greater Israel. Once Hitler killed these Israelites, and how much problem they would have experienced at that time. Their ancestors. Much more than that, these Israelites have given to the Palestinians. They killed them, children. What right they have? Because they want to create a greater Israel. Because that was promised by their Jewish God. Who knows about their Jewish God? Do you know, has anybody realized their Jewish God? No. They killed in the name of their religion, they killed all these Palestinians. They are human beings. The children cried how much they would have cried before dying. How much their mothers would have cried when their child were dying in Palestinians. You want to recreate the same kind of trouble that Hitler gave to you? This is what will happen. This is a religious war. It's not just Iran, Israeli, US war. US supported Israel because there are strong people, Jewish people in United States supporting this, because all the presidents, they depend on them. Not this. Till you destroy all the symbols and live freely of the one which is beyond the human mind. You are divine. I told you so many times. But you